Alrighty, so this is officially the second episode of the All About series, and today we're going to be going into detail about the Jack Dempsey. This is a fish that I'm very familiar with. I've actually had one for about 7 years now, ever since he was a little bitty baby. And this guy, as you're seeing right now, he is pretty decent size. And this is an unbiased opinion, honestly. He is one of the best looking Jack Dempseys I've ever seen. Now, the reason why he looks so good is because of what I'm feeding him. We'll get into that here in a second. But overall, these are pretty simple fish and easy fish to care for, as long as you have the right tank space and you're keeping with the right tank mates, and as long as you're feeding them really good. These are really easy and really fun fish to have. Now, I also have two baby Electra Blue Jack Dempseys, and they're actually a little bit different than the regular Jack Dempseys. I'm going to talk a little bit about them here later on in the video, but yeah, we're just going to hop right into the Jack Dempsey. So like I said, these guys are pretty easy fish to care for. Now, they need a full-grown Jack Dempsey just by itself. In my opinion, needs about a tank to about 40 to 45 gallons. Mine's in a 46-gallon bow front tank, and he's been in that tank almost his whole life. The only other tank that he was in was a 10-gallon. That was only when he was just a little bitty baby, and I was growing him out, and that was actually way before I had my bow front tank. And these guys are carnivorous, even though they will eat some plants here and there. Typically, what they like is just a really good pellet, like Hickory cichlid pellets. And that is the food that I've fed mine over the years, and it really does bring out their colors, helps them grow and all that, and it just makes them look like a really nice fish. It's good to also feed them some live or even some frozen food. Now, every once in a while I do feed mine some frozen bloodworms, but for the most part I just do feed him the Hickory cichlid pellets, and every once in a while we'll feed him some little rosy red minnows. Now, my Jack Dempsey, he does not actually like live food. He will go after them, but he's not really the one to go and chase after them and stuff like that. And he just prefers pellets over anything, because he's kind of lazy, honestly. Now, as I said earlier, my Jack Dempsey is about 7 years old. I've had him ever since he was a little bitty baby. I actually got him from PetSmart. Now, cool thing about him is I actually got two of these guys. I got an albino Oscar and two little baby Jack Dempseys from PetSmart. And I had them all three in a 10-gallon. Probably not the best idea. I mean, it was all right for how small they were then, and I knew they were going to grow out of it. And that guy got left behind. The other Jack Dempsey and the Oscar, they were eating like almost all the food, and they were growing, getting bigger and bigger. And I knew I needed to do something. So unfortunately, I had to get rid of the Oscar and the Jack Dempsey. And the Jack Dempsey was actually about, I would say he's probably about half the size of my Jack Dempsey now. But that was in a 10-gallon, so he was pretty big to be in a 10-gallon, and that was about 3 or 4 years ago. So just imagine about how big that Jack Dempsey could be now if I still had him. And this is why my Jack Dempsey is not a really big Jack Dempsey. He's only about 7 inches, and they can get up to about 15 inches. So he's only about half as big as he could have been, and that's because his growth got stunted when he was a lot younger. As far as tank mates, these guys are South American cichlids, so it's best to keep them with South American fish, such as big Oscars. Those are very common tank mate with them. Green Terrors, big convicts, stuff like that. Those are all really good tank mates to go with them. Now, my Jack Dempsey has never been overly aggressive. Some of them can. It just kind of varies on, that particular fish. My Jack Dempsey's always been a pretty peaceful one, but he does get a little touchy. He's very territorial about his log. As far as these guys' lifespan, they typically will live up to about 8 to 10 years. Now, in really good care and health, these guys can live up to about 15 to even over that. As I also said earlier, these guys full grown can be kept in about a 40-gallon tank, 40 to 45 gallons, all by themselves. Now, if you pair them up, and there's two big ones, they're going to need probably at least a 60 to 75 gallon tank. But like I said, these guys are really easy and really fun fish to have, and can be really pretty fish. Now, I've noticed that a lot of older Jack Dempseys look very faded out, and that's just because they haven't been fed very well over the years, and they've just gotten really old. My Jack Dempsey's not really old, but he's got some age to him, and you can still see all the beautiful colors in him. That's because I've taken really good care of him, and I've also fed him really well. So if you take really good care of these fish, they can really turn out to be some really amazing looking fish. Now, their closely related cousin, the Electric Blue Jack Dempsey, these guys are a whole nother story, honestly. Even though they look very much alike, they're just very electric blue light, hence their name. I've actually got 2 of these little dudes, and I've had them for a few months now, and I've also noticed that these guys are very slow growing fish. Now, the regular Jack Dempsey, these guys grow a little bit faster, but they can also be a little bit slow growing as well. But the big difference in the electric blue Jack Dempsey and the regular Jack Dempsey is that they are very peaceful. I've never known an electric blue Jack Dempsey to be very aggressive. I've actually got mine with a whole bunch of tetras, and I've never seen a speck of aggression out of them. They've always done really, really good in here with them. And I've even seen electric blue Jack Dempseys being kept with mollies and platies. Now, other than that, everything with them is about the same as the regular Jack Dempsey. Really, the only big differences are their color, their growth rate, and also their temperament. Well, that is going to be pretty much it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Hope you guys learned something from this video. If you're interested in keeping a Jack Dempsey or an electric blue Jack Dempsey, they're pretty easy fish to keep. Now, if you never kept either one of them, I would definitely aim more towards the regular Jack Dempsey. But if you have any other fish species that you want me to do in this series, definitely let me know. Anyways, guys, with that being said, I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.